How do you stop yourself from going mental in the head during this time of confusion? Well, this was a question I was asking myself, and I thought, well, why not get back in touch with one of my guests, Bryn, who is a critical thinking expert, and we did a podcast not so long ago, which is well worth listening to. But I thought today we'd come back together and look at, given the current situation, what are some of the critical thinking biases that we all might be falling into? So I thought we'd get back together and have a chat. So Betha.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. So right now, what's going on for people in terms of the way that they're thinking critically?
Okay. Some people are thinking critically, but a lot of us are not. There's a lot of fear, a lot of panic, a lot of snap judgments and snap decisions being made, which are very much in our System 1 thinking systems.
So explain the difference between System 1 and System 2.
Yep.
For the uninitiated.
For the uninitiated. Okay, so these are our two main thinking systems in the brain. It's based on the work of Daniel Kahneman, well worth looking up. So your System 1 is your automatic response thoughts, and it might be something like, when you're driving the car, it's just that you do things without realizing. It's quite unconscious. But also, if you read a headline, right now you might read a headline and you think, oh my God, that's scary. Rather than reading on, you sit and dwell in that System 1.
So when you get triggered.
Process. Exactly. So it's quite a primitive way of thinking, whereas our more evolved parts of the brain use System 2, which is much slower, much more effortful thinking, but it's logical, it's reasoned, has a more holistic approach, and that's your kind of, all right, I've had a deep breath and now I'm going to figure this thing out kind of thing.
So right now we're going to see a lot of people here, especially when they're going to Woolies.
Oh, yeah.
Buying.
You may go into Woolies in your System 2 going, okay, I just need...
But then you get caught in the System 1 and the whole energy of it all.
And you come out with a trolley full of stuff you don't need.
Give us a quick rundown on System 1.
All right, so our System 1 is...
So someone knows if they're in it. What does it feel look like?
Well, we know we're in it when we can step out of it, but in that moment, it's so automatic, it's already happening.
Right.
So you need
to.
That's when you need to. Yeah, exactly. It's very biased. So an example of System 1 is there's heaps going on right now, but things like social amplification of risk. So you imagine, Caveman Bryn is there with his tribe. Everyone else is looking at the tiger approaching.
Yeah.
You're going to look at it too.
Yes.
And you're going to amplify the feelings as a group, and it escalates.
Yep.
So everybody right now is going, oh shit, there's coronavirus, and we can't physically see it. We feel like there's not much response, so the stress levels will be rising because everyone else's are rising too. Even just saying that, I can feel myself.
Yeah. Woo!
Exactly.
Here we go. So that's like that shared business of shared energy levels. And
Exactly. Things like loss aversion bias and sunk cost bias will be...
so what's that in real English?
That's in real English. If it's you've got a business that you've spent a lot of money on, and you're thinking, right, well, I don't want to lose that. I've already put all my money into it, and I want to try and mitigate the losses. Then you'll be thinking, how can I just keep what I've got, rather than go, right, okay, that's not going to work for the next 2 weeks, 6 months, 2 years, whatever it is.
Yep.
I need to pivot now, rather than keep trying to pretend everything's fine.
Yeah,
going on that
head in the sand.
Exactly, and that's another bias in itself, ostrich bias,
all right.
Normalcy bias.
It's all right, nothing's happening out there.
Yeah, and depending on what the media is doing in particular countries, and what the government messaging is as well, people in the UK up until a couple of days ago were going, it's fine, we're still going night clubbing, we're still carrying on, and it's only in the last sort of 24 hours the government's really changed its messaging, and people are starting to pay attention a bit more.
Yeah.
So thinking System 2 about what information you're taking on, who you're listening to, and making your own judgments based on those things, I guess, is really important.
Okay. What are some of the other biases that we're getting trapped into at the moment?
Bandwagon effect. The herd mentality with the toilet paper gate hashtag.
I saw a great interview the other day where somebody said, with all this toilet roll, and they basically interviewed him and said, well, why have you done it? And his response was, because everybody else is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to judge someone in that position that's got a trolley full of toilet paper, but it's their way of trying to feel more in control in this situation where nobody's in control and nobody knows what's happening and no one can really predict what's going to happen. We might have a vaccine next week. Yeah. And everyone will just go, well, that's kind of okay.
That's all chill,
to what we thought. But we might still be here in a couple of years. We really don't know. And so
I suppose a lot of defensive
sort
of behaviour comes out of this.
Yeah.
And I guess a part of it is not being sucked in, although you recognise that when you're being sucked in, you're sucked in, and it's not until you come across here and you realise, oh, I went to Woolies and I was a bit of a dick.
Is that an admission?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some positives, like the protective response. We want to protect ourselves, our closest family. Many of us are, looking out for the elderly or our parents. Suddenly my mum's got, 5 phone calls rather than 1 this week in the UK, because I'm scared for her.
Yes.
So there's some positives to that, and I've spoken to my brothers too. All this strange stuff happening, and so that there are benefits obviously to System 1, but we need to also think holistically and go, all right, well maybe I've got 600 toilet rolls in my basement now, but that is going to have consequences for other people.
Yeah.
And that's going to have consequences on the economy, supply and demand of stuff, and create this vicious circle of fear and protective behaviours, and things will get a lot worse because of this panic that people are going into. There's 2 epidemics, the fear epidemic and the actual health epidemic.
Yes.
And both are huge.
Yes.
Potentially the fear one will have worse consequences.
So tell me about System 2.
All right, System 2, this is where we want to be.
And when you say you want to be, why is that?
System 2 is a lot more sensible and rational.
Right.
And we'll be thinking more logically about things, and more holistically as well. So, like we said, if your instinct is to protect yourself and those really close to you, hopefully System 2, I think I was here a couple of days ago, and then I sort of checked myself and said, if I'm feeling scared and worried as a healthy mid-30-year-old, my neighbours who are in their 90s are probably terrified, and so the best thing I can do to help someone else is to check in on them, make sure they're okay. And so, we as a family have taken measures to self-isolate already, because I want to be able to help them. I can't go to the door and go, oh, hey, how are you going? It's more of a, oh, hi, you came round. Hey, my alarm clock's broken. Can you go in and fix it? Or can you just dial my son on the phone? And I can't sit back and say no, because I've exposed myself or the children or whatever. So, so we've taken quite strong measures on that because of, it fits with our values and it seemed logical to us. But that's no judgment on other people and what they're deciding to do.
And I think another key thing is, if you're firing up and existing out of System 1, you're going to be in that stress state. And I've spoken about this before, in the stress state, then you're going to be dumping in cortisol, adrenaline, and all the fight and flight chemicals, which then suppress your immune system, which then make you more susceptible to, well, not just coronavirus, but many other things as well. Whereas this is very much triggering off your parasympathetic nervous system, the chill thing, and that's where you get more restorative, and that's where you're more likely to have a big, healthier immune system.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I guess, if you're helping other people and you feel useful, then that triggers other hormones which are also feel good, and
giving
more
and
long-term kind of things, because this one seeks comfort. This is the one that's saying, oh my God, I want to get under my duvet and hide on the couch and eat ice cream and watch Netflix. This one's going, actually, okay, what's the opportunity here? What can I do? How can I be helpful?
Which is what we're doing right now.
Which is what we're trying to do right now, yeah.
So recognising that this is a better place to be than this, what are some of the things that we can do to keep ourselves or keep ourselves more over here than over here, in the blue and out the red?
Yeah, in the blue. We want to be in the chilled blue zone, don't we? So some of the stuff that we can do, a bit of reflection time, and taking a pause before we respond to things. Particularly if you think like social media, you're going, oh my God, that's terrible. Whoa, I'm so shocked. Hang on a minute. Where's that from? Is that accurate? Identifying fake news, for example, is one thing that you could do there. But also just a bit of reflection for yourself, like what's triggering you? What can you do to try and gain some control? And I've put it in inverted commas because really at this point in time, there's very little control. The government is taking on a lot of control, and so they're going to be going more and more hard line on that. So what can we control? We can control our response. We can control what we do in the day. We can control a routine. And so for some people, having a routine will be very grounding and helpful. I saw a picture of someone holding onto their shower rail with headphones in, pretending they're on the tube. Whatever feels normal. Checking in with your values. Are you acting in line with your values? If one of your values is kindness and you've got a well-stocked pantry all of a sudden, what can you do to be more kind and to think of others?
I guess I've been asking myself the question, how can I come out of this situation with a sense of pride in the fact that I did my best?
Yeah, absolutely.
Within what I'm capable of doing.
Yeah, and this is not going to be forever. In 10 years' time, when you look back, you want to feel proud of how you responded and what you did. And some of us will be heroic in the hour, and some of us will hopefully just avoid eating all the ice cream in the world.
Indeed.
But checking in with your values and what can you do that's in line with your values as a response to the situation is important. Practicing gratitude, because we are here in Perth in a great position to be grateful for the beautiful outdoors, and we can get out in there still for now. We've got roofs over our heads, most of us, and there is still food in Woolies, even if it's not the exact pasta that you want. There are things still available. So things like that, just being grateful for what we have and for the health that we have. Mindfulness, similar to that, just in this moment right now, things are looking okay. And most of the time they are. Coronavirus is such a, it's like this invisible phantom that's away on the horizon somewhere. You go, well, if you don't look that way and you just go, right, what's in front of me? It's more time with family, or it's more time at home. It's sorting out the sock drawer. Whatever.
I spoke about this the other day about, I put forward the idea of, don't think about the pink elephant. We have to think about the pink elephant in order not to. So instead of this whole, I'm not thinking about Corona, I'm not I'm not thinking about. You are. So let's focus on the stuff we can do. I'm going to spend great time with the family. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to do this.
I'm going to read all those books that are
Oh, got a stack of them. And I think also in here, it's just, even at a simple level, it's just take 3 or 4 breaths. Super simple. Just have a couple of deep breaths, count 5 in those breaths, and then see where you're at. And for me personally, on top of these things, it doesn't really help with this, but maintaining a sense of humour in all this is going to be key, I think. Otherwise, we are going to just go absolutely crazy. I suppose being 2 English Poms, we would really resonate with dark humour and humour. Yes, absolutely. That's why there was the cognitive bias bingo that I put around social media the other day, because you go, we're all feeling these things. We're all feeling compassion fade, empathy gap, normalcy bias, trying to maintain. But it's completely normal human behaviour. And I think there's an initial spike in this anxiety, this fear, this panic. And then humans are very adaptable. We'll find a way to some kind of new norm, whatever that may be. Some homeostasis. That's a different one. Because when something is new, we're more scared of it. So think about, if you were just walking down the street and you saw all the cars around and you were an alien from another planet, you go, oh my God, look at these things shooting really fast around. But that's a fear or a danger that we're used to because we face it every day. And the stats on deaths on roads are hideous. But We still do it.
We still do it, right? And we're used to it, and we don't have that anxiety, most of us, about just crossing the road. But because coronavirus is new and it's a new area for most people, you can look back, hindsight bias, and see Bill Gates' TED Talk from a few years ago where he describes almost exactly what's happening right now. And we go, oh, look, well, he knew it was coming.
Yes.
The conspiracy theorists jump on it. But, most of us could not have predicted quite how far-reaching the impact of this would be. So it's new, it's scary, but this panic and fear will probably calm down a bit. And the amazing thing that we have now, compared to 20 years ago, is that, if you need to talk to someone, you can get online, you can have Zoom counselling, you can call people, we can keep in touch with our friends and family all over the world a lot more easily than we could have done 20 years ago. So, there's that to be grateful for as well. But yeah, we're all going to be sitting at home, glued to our screens quite a bit over the next few weeks.
So I think the big thing is, without sounding like Jimbo, and stay out the red and in the blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Take a breath, reflect, control.
Yeah.
Look at your routines and your values and gratitude and mindfulness, and that will, in some way, stop you from going mental.
Yeah. That's the hope.
That's the hope. Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, we should do a little.
Oh yeah, there you go.